The rain fell in thin silver lines over the broken fields of Sector 17, turning the ground into black mud. Captain Daniel Reyes adjusted the collar of his military jacket and scanned the dark horizon through his visor. War had been raging between humans and the alien race, known as the Volari, for 6 years. The Volari were taller, stronger, and faster than humans. Their skin shimmered with faint blue patterns, and their eyes glowed softly in the dark. And they hated humans. To them, humans were invaders who had expanded too far into the galaxy. To humans, the Volari were an unstoppable enemy threatening their colonies. Daniel had seen too much death to care about politics anymore. Tonight, his squad had been sent to investigate a crashed Volari scout ship that had fallen near the border of human territory. But when they arrived, the battlefield was empty. No ship, no bodies, just smoke drifting through the trees. "Something's wrong," Daniel muttered. His squad moved carefully through the forest. Branches cracked under their boots, and distant thunder rolled across the sky. Then Daniel heard it. A faint sound, a soft, strained breath. He raised his hand for the squad to stop. Wait. The sound came again, a quiet gasp, like someone trying not to scream. Daniel followed it through the tall grass until he reached a fallen tree. Behind it, lying against the trunk, was a Volari woman. She looked young, maybe the equivalent of a human in her 20s. Her silver-blue skin was streaked with dirt, and one of her arms was badly wounded. Dark violet blood soaked the torn fabric around her shoulder. The moment she saw Daniel, her glowing eyes widened with hatred. She bared her sharp teeth. "You," she hissed weakly. Daniel slowly raised his hands. "I'm not here to hurt you." Her lips curled into a snarl. All humans say that before they kill. She tried to stand but collapsed, clutching her wounded arm. Daniel glanced back at his squad. "Give us space," he ordered quietly. The soldiers exchanged confused looks, but obeyed. Now it was just Daniel and the alien woman. She watched him like a trapped animal. "If you came to finish me," she said coldly, "do it quickly." Daniel crouched down slowly. "I'm a medic too," he said. "Your arm is bleeding badly. I would rather die than accept help from a human." Daniel sighed. "Yeah," he said softly. "I've heard that before." He opened his medical kit anyway. The Volari woman tried to push him away, but her strength was fading fast. "Don't touch me." But Daniel gently took her injured arm. "Relax," he said calmly. He cleaned the wound carefully, wiping away the blood and dirt. The injury looked like a plasma burn mixed with shrapnel damage. She winced but didn't scream. "You're lucky," Daniel said quietly. "The bone isn't broken." "Why?" she whispered. He looked up. "Why what? Why help me?" Daniel shrugged slightly. "Because you're hurt." She stared at him like she couldn't understand the answer. "You humans burned our cities," she said bitterly. "And your people destroyed 3 of our colonies," Daniel replied. For a moment they just looked at each other. Then Daniel carefully applied a healing patch over the wound. The Volari woman inhaled sharply as the patch activated and began sealing the damaged skin. "You should be able to move your arm in a few hours," he said. She looked down at the bandage in disbelief. "You saved me." Daniel stood up. "Don't read too much into it." She watched him carefully. "My name is Lyra," she said slowly. Daniel nodded. "Daniel." For the first time, her expression softened slightly. "You're different from the others." Daniel laughed quietly. "Trust me, I'm not." But Lyra shook her head. "No Volari soldier would help a wounded human." Daniel didn't answer. The rain grew heavier, drumming on the leaves above them. Finally, Lyra spoke again. "My scout ship crashed during a patrol," she explained. "Your anti-air cannons hit the engine." Daniel nodded. "Yeah, that sounds like us." She studied him for a moment. "You should take me prisoner." Daniel looked at her. You're an enemy officer.
Probably, he said.
But instead you helped me escape death. He shrugged. Maybe I'm just bad at following orders. Lyra almost smiled. Hours passed. Daniel's squad eventually retreated to a nearby abandoned outpost for shelter. Lyra came with them. Most of the soldiers didn't trust her. Their hands stayed close to their weapons whenever she walked past. But Daniel kept things calm. She's not a threat, he insisted. Lyra sat quietly near the fire, watching the humans carefully. Everything about them fascinated her. They were rough, loud, and strange. Yet Daniel had treated her wound with a gentleness she had never expected from a human. After a long silence, she spoke. Daniel. Yeah. Why did you really help me? He stared into the fire for a moment before answering. I had a sister, he said quietly. Lyra tilted her head. Had. She was a medic on a colony station. His voice became distant. During the early years of the war, a Volari strike team attacked the station. Lyra lowered her eyes. She died helping wounded civilians escape. Silence filled the room. Lyra expected anger, hatred. But Daniel only sighed. I used to hate your people, he admitted. What changed? Daniel looked at her. Meeting you. Lyra blinked in surprise. You barely know me.
True, he said.
But you're not a monster. Her expression softened. And neither are you. The next morning, alarms suddenly blared from Daniel's scanner. Incoming ships. Volari ships. Lyra stood instantly. My people found me. The human soldiers grabbed their weapons. Tension exploded inside the room. One soldier shouted. She set us up. Lyra raised her hands.
No.
I didn't call them. Daniel stepped between them. Everyone calmed down. Outside, 3 sleek Volari fighters descended through the clouds. A squad of armored Volari warriors landed nearby. Their commander stepped forward. The moment he saw Lyra, he froze. Princess Lyra. The human soldiers stared in shock. Daniel blinked. Princess. Lyra looked embarrassed. Yes. The Volari commander bowed deeply. We have been searching for you since your ship crashed. He glanced at the humans with cold hostility. These humans will pay for capturing you. Daniel sighed. We didn't capture her. Lyra stepped forward quickly. Stop. The Volari soldiers immediately froze. They saved my life, she said firmly. The commander looked confused. Humans saved you? Yes. Lyra gestured toward Daniel. He treated my wound when I would have died. The commander stared at Daniel like he was seeing something impossible. Lyra turned to Daniel. My father is the Volari Emperor. Daniel blinked again. Of course he is. She smiled slightly. I would like you to come with us. The room went silent. Daniel laughed nervously. Yeah, that sounds like a trap. Lyra shook her head.
No.
She looked at him sincerely. If humans and Volari are ever going to stop this war, someone has to take the first step. Daniel thought about it. About the war. About his sister. And about the alien woman who once hated humans but now looked at him with trust. Finally, he nodded. All right. 2 weeks later, Daniel stood inside the massive palace of the Volari Empire. Thousands of alien soldiers watched him with suspicion. At the center of the throne room sat the Volari Emperor. His glowing eyes studied Daniel carefully. You are the human who saved my daughter. Daniel nodded.
Yeah.
The Emperor was silent for a long moment. Then he stood. To repay your kindness, I will grant you anything you ask. Daniel took a breath. End the war. Gasps spread across the chamber. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. You ask much, human. Daniel looked at Lyra. War hasn't solved anything for either of us. Lyra stepped beside him. Father, he's right. The Emperor slowly looked between them. Then he smiled faintly. Perhaps the galaxy is ready for something new. Ending. 6 months later, the first peace treaty between humans and the Volari Empire was signed. The war that had lasted 6 brutal years finally came to an end. Historians later wrote that the turning point of the war was not a battle or a political negotiation. It was a single moment in a rainy forest, when a wounded alien who hated humans met a soldier who chose compassion over revenge. And instead of pulling the trigger, he gently treated the wound on her arm.